LV55 Media LLC presents The Heroes of Montford Point Mobile Landing Platform Ceremony, Part 5, featuring Marine General James Amos.
Thank you, Admiral Busby. Our principal speaker this morning is the 35th and current Commandant of the United States Marine Corps. As a naval aviator, he has held command at all levels, from Lieutenant Colonel to Lieutenant General on assignments in Europe, the United States, Iraq, and on board the USS Theodore Roosevelt. Prior to his current assignment, he served as the Assistant Commandant of the United States Marine Corps. Please welcome General James Amos.
Well, good morning, everybody. A couple of early thoughts before I get into my comments, my prepared comments. First of all, this is your lucky day. I had 10 minutes of remarks prepared, and now that I'm under sequestration, I have to deduct 10%, so I'm only going to give you 9 minutes of prepared remarks this morning. The other thing I'd like to bring out is that Congresswoman Davis and I have a very close relationship. She's almost like a Catholic priest to me. And so when I confess things to Congresswoman Davis, it's like being in the confessional, ladies and gentlemen. And therefore it bears an element of responsibility with regards to further transmissions. Remember this, whatever happens and said at NASCO stays at NASCO. We've got lots of very, very important people up here on the stage, down here in the front. Everybody has been welcomed, so I won't do that. But I am very impressed by this shipyard, and every time I come to visit Fred and you and the men and women of NASCO, I'm wowed. I'm wowed by how you do things, how ships are built and put together. I'm impressed by the fact that they're built either on time or ahead of schedule and either on budget or below budget. So that's a real plus in today's economy, and I applaud your comments about that's the type of acquisition and construction we need. There are folks out here, Fred introduced 4 folks from NASCO, 4 of the great employees, grand employees, but I would like every single person that works for NASCO, if you would please stand so we could give you a round of applause. Every single person in the audience that works for NASCO, please. Everybody. Please. Everybody. Thank you. Thank you for building and delivering this absolutely beautiful ship. Folks, our Secretary of the Navy, Ray Mabus, planned to be here today. And he deeply, deeply regrets the fact that he had to cancel his trip. He prepared a short letter expressing his thoughts on today's ceremony, and he's asked me to read it. Our Montford Point Marines have no stronger advocate in Washington, D.C. than our Navy Secretary. I'd like to read his letter to you. To the participants and supporters of United States Naval Ship, Montford Point. I wish I could be with you today to celebrate the christening of USNS Montford Point. It's a signal event in the life of a ship because once christened, she finally bears the name she will carry throughout her entire life in the fleet. When Jackie Bolden, as this ship's wonderful sponsor, breaks the bottle of champagne on the side of the ship, one of the Navy's great traditions will be complete. Just as I had the great pleasure of selecting the name of this ship, I also selected Jackie as its sponsor. Jackie's husband, the Honorable Charlie Bolden, is a retired Marine Major General, a former astronaut, and now the 12th NASA Administrator. He arrived at his current job after a highly decorated and distinguished 34-year career in the United States Marine Corps. Jackie and Charlie have 2 children, including a lieutenant colonel in the Marine Corps. The Bolden Marines are living legacies of the excellence first demonstrated by those 20,000 African American recruits who arrived at Montford Point Camp in North Carolina between 1942 to 1949. They were forced to train apart from the other Marines, not because they lacked skills or courage or dedication to their country, but simply because of the color of their skin. These recruits were to be dismissed after the war, but because of their exemplary service and their bravery, and because Marines are known for a no-nonsense approach to fighting, that plan was scrapped in favor of a fully integrated Marine Corps. The Marines and the Navy continue to fight for equality among the force for one simple reason: it makes us better warfighters. Those Marines at Montford Point silenced the critics when they answered the call, and their recognition, long overdue, is well-deserved. Last year, they received the Congressional Gold Medal. Among other accolades, they will now be represented across the globe by this Mobile Landing Platform, or MLP. She's an incredibly flexible platform that will move our Marines and their vehicles and their equipment from sea to shore and back again. This capability will be critical as our Marines return to their maritime roots and resume their traditional roles as America's expeditionary force and readiness, regardless of the mission. From combat operations to disaster response, MLPs will deliver Marines sooner and safer than ever, improving their effectiveness in all regimes. The ability of Montford Point-class ships to fulfill these missions is a testament to the skill and the dedication of the people of General Dynamics NASSCO, some of whom are with you today. USNS Montford Point will serve in our fleet for decades to come. There are sailors and Marines who will sail in her who are yet not born today, but will learn and be inspired by the Montford Point Marines and what they stand for: equality, bravery, and dedication to protecting the rights and freedoms of all peoples, even when their country did not protect their own. To Montford Point, fair winds and following seas. May God bless her and all who sail in her. Semper Fi, Montford Point Marines. Signed, Ray Mabus, Secretary of the Navy. Well, I got to tell you, folks, that's going to be hard to beat. But let me make a couple of comments here today, please. As we gather today to christen the newest ship of the Military Sea Lift Command and the Maritime Prepositioning Force, it's fitting that we also recognize those whom the ship honors. Much has already been said about the story of Montford Point Camp and the men who trained there to become Marines until segregation in the military finally ended. These Marines, 32 of whom are among us here today, changed our nation and my Marine Corps. In the past several years, the Marine Corps has worked tirelessly to ensure that the legacy and sacrifice of those who became known as Montford Point Marines is firmly anchored in the rich history of the United States Marine Corps. Among our deliberate efforts, we have purposely inserted the legacy of Montford Point into the curriculum of all of our professional military service schools. Thus thoroughly, thank you. This thoroughly enshrines their documentation into a portion of our legacy for legions of Marines who are yet to come and be born. Most significantly, we work closely with Congress to see the Montford Point Marines honored with Congressional Gold Medal. That effort, jointly led on Capitol Hill by Congresswoman Corinne Brown of Florida and Senator Kay Hagan of North Carolina, culminated last June in a moving ceremony in Emancipation Hall. Think of that. Emancipation Hall within our nation's capital. Followed by a parade as only Marines can do at Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C., 8th and I. The Congressional Gold Medal signifies the highest expression of national appreciation for distinguished achievements, like those bestowed on Rosa Parks, Jesse Owens, Jackie Robinson, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and the Tuskegee Airmen, who similarly fought against racism and segregation in our country. The Congressional Gold Medal is an honor befitting all the Montford Point Marines, and particularly those 32 here that are among us today. So today we recognize their legacy with another pioneering effort. The mobile landing platform ship you see here today represents a leap ahead in our nation's ability to project power across the world's oceans. As an interoperable pier in the ocean, the MLP will significantly reduce our requirement for foreign ports in which to offload our equipment. Whether used for a major combat operation or a regional theater exercise, the MLP will further enable the Navy and Marine Corps' ability to remain both a forward-deployed hedge force for our nation, a hedge force against uncertainty, and will allow us to be the partner of choice for many of our allies around the world. The groundbreaking capability inherent in this ship is unmatched, and it's what I call a game changer in the world that we live in today.
This event was recorded live on March 2nd, 2013 at the General Dynamics NASSCO Shipyard, San Diego, California.